Hi, I'm Megan. I'm going to show you how to make a Zentangle drawing today. So you're going to want some pens or Sharpies and then just a white piece of paper. That's all you're going to need. So Zentangles are when you fill in shapes with patterns. So I made a little list of patterns for myself to use on this project, but you can look up Zentangle patterns and you can find a whole lot online, or you can come up with your own patterns or use the ones I'm going to show you today. So to start, you're going to want to make Gladies. So just do some vertical lines. Try to keep them pretty even, but it doesn't really matter unless you want it to look really geometric. Then you can get a ruler out and measure, but I'm okay with how it looks. And then you're going to do some vertical lines. And then the last thing you're going to do is some like wiggles. So wherever you want it to go on your paper, and then you're going to want to do the same, follow it so it looks like it's like thicker. The more you do, the more spots you're going to have to fill with different patterns, but if you don't want to spend so much time on it, I would say do less squiggles and boxes. So, because what you want to do is you're going to pick like a shape. So like this would be my shape in here, and you're gonna put a pattern in there. So this one that I like to do is pretty easy. So you're gonna like start with a triangle and then just do some lines that follow that triangle, and then add another one that goes another way. It's kind of gonna look like a volleyball a little bit. And then I'll do one this way. You can do all the lines first, or you can do it as you go, it doesn't matter. But you want to make sure that like you don't have two going the same direction right next to each other. So then that's one shape done. I'm going to do one that takes a little more room. This is why I'm going to do it in this big shape. You kind of outline the shape again. And then this one you're going to make, kind of like we do with the paper at the beginning, you're going to kind of make a grid. And you're going to try to make it pretty even looking. You can use a ruler if you want, but I think it's more relaxing for me not to, and that's kind of the whole thing with Zentangles, is it's kind of like just to calm down and just kind of like a coloring book, but a little more. And then once I have the grid, you're gonna just make a little arch on every line. You're gonna do one on each side. It might be easier to try all these patterns first on like another piece of paper before you start on your other one. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing for all your horizontal lines. I'm going to just add one more line to everywhere, but I kind of just do it like this and then fill in whatever is left. So that's done with that pattern. I'm gonna do one up here. That I usually like to use this one in smaller areas. So you're just gonna make little tiny circles of different sizes, and they touch each other. They can touch each other, and then you're gonna fill in between the circles. And if you want, you can start off by putting some big circles, and then filling it in with the smaller ones around it. Next thing I'm gonna use the shape next. I'm gonna make big swirls. Don't need too many of them, but it's probably good. And then you're gonna start right at the spiral and just go around. And just keep going around so it kind of looks like a wave, and then start here and go the other way. when you start to like, you just fill in space like right here. So this one's pretty quick to do, which is why I like to do it on bigger areas. Sometimes you want to pay attention to how much like black is in each spot, so you don't put like too much black next to each other, so you can kind of tell where new patterns start. So I'm going to put one that has a lot of white. So you're going to put dots in a vertical line, and then you're going to try to do it kind of evenly spaced, so they're going to make like little squares out of these dots. And then you're going to start here and you're going to kind of go around. So you're going to start on the right side of the other dot and go to the left side. Alright, and then you're going to go horizontally and you're going to start on the top and go to the bottom of the dot next to it. So that's all you have to do for that one. So that one's pretty quick too. And then another one. So you start with like a dot in the middle somewhere. And then you're gonna make straight lines that intersect at that dot. So then in one of these triangle pieces, you're gonna do like half circles that face, so they're like upward. They all go the same direction. And then on the one next to it, you're gonna flip it. Do the same on the other side next to the first one you did. And then next to those, you're gonna flip it again so it's back to the top of the circle. And then you're just gonna keep alternating it. So that's all you have to do for that one. And then for one that I like to do, you're gonna make like fish scales. So I'm gonna start all the way down here where the shape starts. So then you just stack it on top like you would when you're drawing fish scales. So you kind of want to just continue on like as if the shape continued. And after you finish them, you're gonna fill in like that little triangle between the spaces. I like to make it kind of like a half circle at the top, and then the triangle at the bottom. Okay, so here are some patterns that I like to use when I Zentangle, but you can look up more or just repeat these, and you're just going to keep going until you fill up all of the areas so that it looks like this in the end.